Hi friends, it's Melusi again coming to you from Melvi Video Productions. Thank you so much for sticking with us from the last episode. We're talking about health is wealth. We're reviewing a publication by Gandhi Mazalo on a book that he has written on practical guidelines of how to live your life. This week we're talking about the pressure cooker. Greetings, my brother.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
Very well, thanks. You talk here about the pressure cooker and you're emphasizing on child obesity.
Yes.
I'm going to read something here that caught my attention, and I'd like you to tell us what you think about this. You say the problem of child obesity is now a health crisis in our urban areas, and to particularly highlight the urban areas. And you talk about your experience in the clinical practice that you have seen children as heavy as 120 kgs.
Yes, that's true.
This is quite an epidemic. What is causing it? And in this chapter, you talk about the pressure cooker. Maybe if you can explain to us what you mean by the pressure cooker.
Yeah, we are really putting the health of our children in the pressure cooker.
All right.
We are trying to cook it very fast and damaging it very fast.
Also, it's the concept of giving them too much
Yes.
heat or nutrients or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Because a pressure cooker cooks quite at a high pressure. All
That's
right?
very true.
Okay.
That's very true. You know, it's the way we are raising our children today. You know, many of us, we grew up during the days when life was very simple. We used to have lots of physical activity, and we used to eat a natural diet, simple food, simple fruits and vegetables. And we used to be very healthy kids. And maybe today we even wonder how come our kids are not as strong as we used to be. Our children today, they are not as healthy as we used to be. You look at a 10-year-old today or a 15-year-old of today, cannot do the manual work that you used to do when you were 10 years old.
Wow.
So something has gone wrong, and we can see that the reason is one of the reasons that we are highlighting in this chapter. Our kids are becoming obese. They are gaining weight. They are becoming overweight.
Yeah.
And this obesity is becoming a crisis on its own.
But this obesity, the overweight, it's driven by certain points. You talk about here the way we raise our children nowadays, based on the amount of activity they do and the food they eat, is actually like putting them in a pressure cooker, such that you catalyze their growth, but also their consequences, especially on the health side.
That's very true.
That they will be predisposed to certain diseases at a very young age. Now, as a public health person, I know one of the biggest drivers for obesity is diet and exercise.
That's true.
You talk about the cost of inactivity. I thought you were going to talk about the cost of activity. But you underpin the epidemic from an inactivity. You say here, but who is to blame for these overweight kids we have in our homes? And the problem is even becoming worse in the developing countries. Many Africans, and we're talking to Africans now, there's a divine voice out of Africa. And those in other parts of the world, we recall the good old days when we grew up. But we have got to an age where we drive sitting down. We no longer walk. Okay. The closest we get to physical activity is the games that we do.
Yeah, that's true.
It's unsafe as well to go out there. I read a post by one of my friends I grew up with in school in the towns of Harare. He says, we used to have patches of open grounds where we could go. And from morning until late in the afternoon, we'll be playing football, running around, hide and seek. But in most of these urban areas, those places have been taken away.
They're shopping malls.
Yes, shopping malls, or they are now houses. They are filling in the empty spaces in the city of Harare and other places. I was even telling one of my production team members that as we were driving, I was saying all this area you see here in the last 7 years, there was no development, but look at the houses that are there now. So the space to physically exercise is shrinking. So how and what advice are you giving to families and parents who are living in the cities where there's no longer a safe place. Either it's security or the space is not there anymore, or the lifestyle no longer allows them to do that. What is the cost of us sitting down?
It is really very expensive if we choose to sit down, or if maybe we look for excuses why we cannot do physical activity.
Yeah.
Because I have learned in life that if you say you don't have time to be physical active, you are going to have time to get ill.
Oh,
you pay
I like
back
that.
for the time you never had to be physical active.
Okay.
Especially for the children, if kids are growing up and they're starting a sedentary lifestyle at a very young age, we are predisposing them to chronic conditions. In fact, that's one of the reasons why our kids are becoming so big. Because today, as you have mentioned, in the past we used to play outside, maybe soccer games,
Yes.
maybe riding bicycles, pushing this and pushing that.
Yeah.
It was all outside. Parents never believed that kids are supposed to be playing inside the house.
Yeah.
Everything was done outdoor. We used to come back home late at night.
Yeah.
Not maybe late at night, but in the evening as the sun is going down.
Yeah.
And you are so dirty and they have to bath you with cold water, and it was happening every evening.
Yes.
And that was
Or sometimes you'll be told you can't come in the house until you take a shower.
That's
and you
very
go
true.
stand in the shower and put your leg.
Yes, but
the
even
shower.
in those dirty bodies, we never used to get ill. We used to be very, very strong kids. So today we have substituted all that with the PlayStations, watching cartoons and excessive sedentary games that kids are doing today. So kids, they're sitting in the house, they're sitting in the car, they're sitting at school, they're sitting in the church, they're sitting everywhere.
Wow.
They don't have time to do physical activity. And yet they're eating a lot of food which they need to burn.
Wow.
And if you don't burn the carbohydrates that you are eating, your body is going to convert them into fat anyway. And this is the reason why our children are getting so big.
This is quite a syndrome of development, if I can put it that way. You're explaining something that perhaps, from my view, is the cost of development, or should I say urbanization, or maybe industrialization, or maybe a byproduct of capitalism, where we're chasing so much production such that even food which is supposed to be produced is now manufactured okay in the factories, and even the food that you buy, you must be able to eat it while you're moving. So it has become a difficult age that we're living in. Perhaps that's what Daniel meant, that men shall run to and fro, such that we've re-engineered our production systems for food, even for physical activities, to suit the lifestyle. But also many people no longer exercise. So I see in your chapter here highlighting the drivers of what has caused this pressure cooker, where things are happening at a high rate, pumping too much sugars into our systems, high carbohydrates, but also having inactivity.
No exercise at all.
Let's talk about the cost for not exercising. You say here it's the reason why we're all raising the medical bill.
That is very true, because if the kids are not doing any physical activity, they are going to gain weight, but that's not the most dangerous thing. What is most dangerous are the side effects of being obese. And these side effects, they actually include diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, digestive problems, and some kids may also have even problems with their joints because of being overweight. We see these cases in the clinics of today from time to time, things that never used to exist maybe 10, 20 years ago. And the reason why it is so expensive is because while many parents may think, oh no, I need to give my children a good life. I suffered when I was young. I could not afford ice cream. I could not afford biscuits. I could not afford cakes. And I had to work very hard at home, work very hard at school. Maybe I need to give my children a better life. And then we wonder why a good life is killing our children. Human beings are designed to be physically active. So no matter where you are staying, no matter where you are, there is still something that you can do to keep your kids busy. Now, don't buy them toys that will encourage a sedentary lifestyle. Buy them toys that will encourage them to be physical active. If you have a small piece of land at home, work in the garden with your kids from time to time. Let them get involved with the home duties, manual works, that will help them to burn some calories. Rather buy them a bicycle than buying them a PlayStation. Rather buy them something that will help them run around outside. The more outdoor activities that they do, the better.
Wonderful.
Even in schools, the same principle need to apply. During the days of our lives when we were young, we used to work a lot at school, working in the garden, working on a flower garden, and cleaning around the surrounding of the school. But if kids are just eating and sitting, and sitting, we are really putting their health in a pressure cooker.
Wonderful. Now, you talk about the second biggest injector of kids into the pressure cooker, the syndrome of junk food. We call it the junk food syndrome.
Yes, that's very true.
What are you talking about in that section of the book?
It is what you mentioned, that today food is no longer produced but is manufactured. We were supposed to eat food which comes from the garden, and from the garden maybe to the market, to our kitchen. But the moment the food is processed and it's refined and there's too much sugar, so many chemicals added to it, this food actually does a lot of harm to our children. And of course, when it comes to obesity, we have found that kids who are living on junk food and they don't do any physical activity. For example, you see kids who are living a sedentary lifestyle today. They are also the kids who have access to this junk food. So they are watching a TV, they are watching cartoons, but every half an hour they are opening a fridge. They are taking this ice cream, they are taking this with that, they are taking that biscuit, those cakes and whatever. And they are feeding the whole day wrong. It's like grazing, they're eating like animals now, eating all day long. And yet they don't have time to burn those calories. So it is important as parents that we teach our kids to enjoy a natural diet. Yes, there will be times on happy birthdays, on Christmas, and on those rare celebration times when kids can have access to a cake or things like those. But you cannot have a happy birthday every day. You cannot have a Christmas every day. You cannot have a Republic Day every day. Most of the days, make sure your kids are enjoying natural foods, like the fruits. The whole grain baked products. You can buy whole wheat flour and bake your own whole wheat muffins at home, carrot muffins, orange muffins. We can make some nice nuts and seeds, and maybe with some raisins, some healthy snacks that your kids can enjoy. Let them eat most of the things from time to time, and it's going to prove to be a good choice for you as a parent and for a child as well.
As you talk, I'm thinking of an African family living somewhere in any African cities, and we've seen an explosion of urbanization in Africa.
That's true.
And there's a prediction that perhaps in the next 15, 20 years, the majority of Africans will be living in the cities.
That's very true.
So we are abandoning that traditional rural lifestyle. What would you recommend as a way forward to correcting this epidemic? Because definitely, if we go the way of the West in terms of our lifestyle as Africans, we're going to end up with the same diseases that you see.
That's very true.
So what would be the way forward you recommend?
I think we need to go back to the basics. We need to appreciate the way our grandparents were living. Many of us, maybe our grandparents are in their 80s and 90s, and they don't know anything about diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, and gout and arthritis. And it goes back to the natural way of life. You look at these people, they have lived their life working in the garden, doing a lot of physical activity, walking long distances. They have also enjoyed a social life, living together as a family, having time to celebrate together, to be with their families. They have enjoyed maybe a good devotional lives. You also find that they have less stress because of the support the community support that they always enjoy in the village. And not only that, they have enjoyed a natural healthy diet because most of their food, maybe 80% of what they eat, comes from their garden to their kitchen and to the table.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Brother Gandhi.
Thank you
To our
very much.
viewers out there, the pressure cooker, be careful of not exercising or having an activity. And watch out what you put on your plate, because these two factors, according to this book, are driving an epidemic that's killing many of our children and even older people. So may God bless you as you read. See you in the next episode.